Welcome, everyone, to the Color of Jazz. I am your hostess for the evening, of course, every evening. And I am so excited because tonight I have a very special guest on with us. And of course, you can see him, he's already here. I have Caesar, the jazz balladeer, with us tonight. And are we in for a treat? Oh my gosh. Caesar, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Donna. How are you?
I'm fabulous because you know what? I am excited that you are here on the show tonight.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me to the Color of Jazz. It's been a long time, and I'm glad that we finally hooked up.
Right?
Yeah.
And of course, as I said, everything always happened in its time. And so it's obviously time that you and I connect and, of course, show the world that you've got some incredible music that we need to talk about. You've got this wonderful CD, folks. Here it is.
Thank you.
And we've got to talk about this music. You've got a lot going on, and we need to get right to it. So, first of all, I want to do some housekeeping. Things, of course, that I always do at the beginning of the show, and that is to let folks know how to get in the live chat with us. We're live 100% of the time during the show. So, what I want you to do, if you can get in the chat with us, please do. The best thing you can do, of course, is to put your name in there so we're not calling you guest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so hit the settings button right there on the right, all right under the screen. You'll see the chat. Hit the settings button, open that up, and I want you to erase guest, whatever, put your name in so we can know who to address when send us questions. All right. Make sure you save it. Okay. That's the other important piece. You gotta save it. So make sure you do that. All right. So now that everyone is up to speed with how to get into the chat, please get in there and chat directly with Caesar tonight. This is a wonderful opportunity. It's kind of like your backstage pass, and he's here, so why not take advantage of it, right? All right, let's go ahead and get started. Caesar, first of all, I got to know about your voice and how you came to the music.
Wow. It's an incredible story. I went to school in Chicago, high school, First L Junior in high school. I was in a jazz band. I played guitar of all instruments, and there was a talent show coming up. And I also played football and some other sports, but I locked my band in the band. I locked my guitar in the band's vault. It was a Gibson Les Paul, saved up like three
Wow.
summers to get it. So it cost like $900 back in the '80s,
Right.
So I love this guitar, Red Sunburst, and so the guitar gets stolen while I'm at football practice. So without the guitar, the talent shows next week, I said, you know what? I'm gonna still get in it. I'm gonna sing.
Oh.
So I thank the person that stole my guitar, and I'm actually still out there looking for it.
Okay, folks, you know where that guitar is. Bring it back.
But yeah, no, thank you for stealing the guitar because I love the day without singing is like a day without sunshine. It
There
really
you
is.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's a great story. That's
Thank you.
awesome. I love that. So, what I really like about that is you didn't give up.
Yeah, it's I sang in the church choir as a child, like from age 10 to 13 or something like that. And I hated being in the choir because we rehearsed on Saturdays. So at age 13, I quit the choir, but you know, I thank my mother now for making me go to rehearsal on Saturdays because look at it, it's
Right?
I would never, have accomplished the things I've done, and this album is a result directly of the training and just being able to share my voice, which is a gift. Thank you. Yeah.
Right on, right on. And of course, that's how a lot of musicians do get their start is in the church.
In the
So,
church.
right? And of course, you've had a wonderful start. So, singing now, tell us some more. From high school, where'd you
Yes.
take it?
Oh wow. From high school, I graduated and I went to Southern University. I played football down there. I was a business major, but I spent most of my time in the music department, and that's I was hanging out with musicians 24/7. We had some great musicians there at Southern. Branford Marcellus went there for a while before he went to Berkeley.
Okay.
Michael Ward, great violinist. You have Wessel Anderson, they call him Warm Daddy. Plays with the Lincoln Jazz Orchestra. Has been with him for about 18 years with Wynton. So I was with the best cats, and it rubbed off on me. Just being around that talent. So from Southern, I graduated with my degree in business. I got hired with an export company, and I ended up traveling around the world, providing humanitarian assistance to third world countries. So I lived in Pakistan, I lived in Thailand, worked over in Europe for a while. So from there, I was all business, and I was in Houston, Texas, based out of Houston. And the girl I'm dating at the time, I dated her for 2 years. She had no idea I sang because I wasn't singing, I was working, So we were at a club one night and this singer was, singing. Everybody's hollering, "Oh my God, he's the greatest." And I said, "Well, the guy really can't sing that great." So she said, "You're just jealous. You can't sing." So I said, "Actually, I can sing." She said, "Well, get up there and sing." So long story short, I get up there, talk to the guy. He gives me the mic. Everybody starts clapping. He snatches the mic from me, and I was determined to start singing from that point on. And that's when things started happening. It was Houston, Texas, and I worked with some great artists out there. There's a lot of talent in Houston.
Yes, there is, and that's awesome. Again, another awesome story. I love talking to the musicians about their journeys on to the music and how they get there. So again, for folks, if you're out there listening, and please make sure you get in the chat with us, because we're talking to the wonderful Caesar, and he's here, folks.
Hello.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some music on, and then we're gonna jump in Facebook, of course. And that is my favorite place to let folks know we're live, we're on there. Come hang out with us, because it's so easy to get in the chat. Now, a lot of you will just kind of, watch the show, and that's fine too. So if you do that, kind of hit us up either on, his Facebook page or my Facebook page. But the best place right now, of course, is the chat right here on the website, so that we can see you directly and you can ask your questions. Otherwise, both of us are having to do that multitasking, looking all over the place for questions and things. So, all right, what I want to do is I want to go, and like I said, I want to get the music going, okay? And let's start with, I want to start with it. There we go. Oh, I'm thinking Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. That's one of my favorites.
Tell us about that.
Well, Mona Lisa, that's, Peter White. That's me and Peter White on that song.
Right.
And the first time I had an opportunity to do a show with Peter, I asked him at sound check. I said, "Hey, man, do you know Mona Lisa?" He said, "Yeah." So we did it, just me and the guitar, and we got a stand ovation. It was out in Santa Clarita. And Peter took me on tour with him. And from there on, the audience response was so overwhelming. He looked at me and said, "We got to record that, brother."
Wow.
So that's how Mona Lisa came about. It's funny the way I recorded it, because we go in the studio. Peter says, "Well, let's lay it down. You need a click track." I said, "No, just turn the mic on." And I sang it a cappella, and he laid the guitar. So that's that's how we did the song.
That's how you roll.
Yeah, well, it's rare to do that, but yeah, that's the way we recorded Mona Lisa. I just love that song, and of course it's Nat King Cole. He made the song famous, and just wanted to do it with a nylon string, a guitar, because it gave it a great sound. So yeah, Peter did a great job.
All right, well let's get it going, and folks. Here we go, Mona Lisa. I'll be in Facebook. I'll come back and chat with you live here as well. Caesar's in the chat, so make sure you get in there with us. Enjoy this, folks.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, men have named you. You're so like the lady with the mystic smile. Is it only 'cause you're lonely they have blamed you for that Mona Lisa strangeness in your smile? Do you smile to tempt a lover, Mona Lisa? Or is this your way to hide a broken heart? Many dreams have been brought to your doorstep. They just lie there and they die there. Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art? Do you smile to tempt a lover, Mona Lisa? Or is this your way to hide a broken heart? Many dreams have been brought to your doorstep. They just lie there and they die there. Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art? Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa.
Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Ooh. All right. All right. So, Mona Lisa. And of course, folks, hope you enjoyed that. And of course, I was talking to Caesar about, we were talking about Nat King Cole, and of course, a favorite of many. And of course, back in the day, back in the 90s, one of my songs was Unforgettable. And that was the song that I got married to. Yes.
Yeah.
So very nice. Yes. And of course, you sounding wonderful and beautiful. So such wonderful voice you have there.
Thank you, Donna. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Those songs, they were written, the lyrics were timeless. So on my album, if you listen to the lyrics on each song, I mean, those songs are written back, a lot of them in the 30s and the 40s. And today, those lyrics still apply because a lot of those songs were written for soundtracks. So some great movies, accompanied these songs. So it was some of the best writers. And I really, right interpretation really brings the song out. So I think we did a great job.
You did a fabulous job. And, speaking of Nat King Cole, what are some of the things that you two have in common?
Oh, wow. Huh. It's funny, Nat King Cole, he was born in Alabama, but he grew up in Chicago, and that's where I'm from.
Right.
I'm a native of Chicago, and he left when he was 18 to go to California, and I did the same thing. After college, I went to California, and I recorded my album in Studio A at Capitol.
That's right.
Using Nat's original microphone and Steinway piano he used. Al Schmidt, the engineer, he actually recorded the Unforgettable album with Natalie. So that was my engineer, and Al, he's won 22 Grammys. So it was great to work with some of the best, well, the best engineer and some great artists, and actually to be joined with Peter and some
Yes.
great musicians, studio musicians out of L.A., Kevin Flournoy, Jeff Driscoll, some great musicians. So I really have a lot of talent that surrounded me. So it really helped me a lot, you know.
Yes. Now, I got to ask this, and because you were recording and you had all that wonderful equipment around you,
Yes.
and what did that feel like? Did you, whether I'm okay, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about you being in that room with so much history and having him, work with you as well. And
Yeah.
did you were you channeling some King Cole there? Were you feeling them? Tell me all about that. Tell us
It's
about it.
funny. It's funny you say that, Donna. Walking into Studio A. Now I had a show 2 nights before because I flew in from the East Coast. So I had a show 2 nights before with a big band at Steamers out in Fullerton. So I lost my voice the day before the session. So I couldn't even talk. So I was trying everything the night before. I had all types of honey, lemons. I was drinking NyQuil, everything. I was just feeling terrible. So I walk into the studio and I meet Al Smith for the first time, and I tell him, I say, "Hey Al, I don't think I can do it. Uh, and I could barely tell him. I could barely talk. So what happened was he said, "See, I'll tell you what. Here's some tea. Why don't you go walk down the hallway? Look at the pictures on the wall."
Right.
So, the history of that room, they've got Nat, they've got Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald. A month before working with me, Al worked with Paul McCartney on his Standards Kisses album with Diana Krall.
Yes.
So I walk down the hallway, come back about an hour and a half later, and all of a sudden the adrenaline kicked in, and I did the entire session. And it's funny you say, was I channeling Nat? Because Charlie Picari, he was the assistant engineer with Al. Charlie pulls one of Nat's pictures off the wall, brings it in the studio, and says, "Man, you're channeling Nat." So it was pretty cool, and it was a session that was pretty incredible. It was, and I was working with some really professionals. They were great, and they pushed me. They said, "Look, you're here, man. Make it happen."
Right.
And you come this far. It was because I couldn't sing, and all of a sudden, and that's what you hear on the tape is my voice. And they're funny. They say your voice wasn't even 100%. So it's pretty interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, folks. I know all of y'all that are listening and in the chat. I know y'all got those goosebumps. I got them, and I'm just like, yeah, speechless. And again, another fabulous story. I love this. I absolutely love this. So you know what? Let's take a quick pause for the cause here, and let's give
Yeah.
some shout outs to some folks in the chat. So I know you've got some special folks in the chat.
Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to give some shout outs?
All right. Well, we got Lori. That's my sister.
Hi,
Actually,
Lori.
hey, Lo. See, yeah, I tortured her. She used to come to Houston to visit me, and if I had a show in New Orleans, I'll never forget this. And we drove from about 5 hours to New Orleans for this show, because I was doing this mini tour, and I was rehearsing the entire way, 5 hours, the same song. And she was like, "Man, if you sing that song one more time." So, I want to thank her for still listening to me sing. So it's one of my biggest fans.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, Lori, thank you for being, of course, one of his biggest fans, and that's so important. I love to hear the folks, to hear about the folks that are supporting you, because I believe that no man or woman is an island, and of course, we surround ourselves with folks who believe in our passion, our mission, and those are the ones that kind of get us through and over the hump and things like that. So, Lori, big, huge shout out to you. I got to say hello to Lucas. Hi, Lucas. Lucas says, "Yay, an interview. Yay, Lucas, you're here. Thank you." And then, of course, my girl, Tamla from Florida, and Tamla and I, we go back a minute, and has always supported the color of jazz. So, I got to show her lots and lots of love. Thank you, Tamla. Appreciate that. Folks, you know what? Up. The DJ just got into the house and he says, "Bro, you got to tell the story about the rooftop helicopter pic." I know, right? We got to hear that. Definitely want to hear that. Here's what I want to do, folks. Before he gets into the whole helicopter pic,
Helicopter, yeah.
and I posted that on my page. So, otherwise I'd flip through, my screen kind of just does some things. And so I can't flip through it right now. I wish I could, but I can't. So you'll have to go to my Facebook page, all right? Or you'll have to go to Caesar's Facebook page, and it's on there. But what I want you to do, and only for those. I'm sorry, go ahead, Caesar.
The back cover of the album. That's the
is that it?
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
Hello. There you go, folks. But what I want folks to do is to go to your Facebook pages, and let's get some folks here in the chat with us. All right, I'm gonna put on another song. Ooh, I have some favorites. I have some favorites, but should I ask him to sing live now, or should we wait? Live now, folks. What do you think? Should we do it? Should we do live now, or should we wait? Okay, let's just do it live now.
Oh, you gotta talk to my agent. What?
I'm sorry, agent. Could
you anytime? Agent, you good? We good?
Are we good, agent? Is your agent okay? I'm begging. Please.
All right, we'll take the song down from the album. I'll sing anything. Just let me know.
You know what? I have always. There's
right.
Lots of standards, of course, that are my favorites, but the one standard I think that will always stand out for me is My Funny Valentine. And I know that's on your CD, and folks, we're going to tell you how to get that CD too. But we've got Caesar the Jazz Balladeer here right now with us. So let's get it going. He's going to sing live. Okay, so I'm not going to ask you to go to your Facebook pages. I want you to listen to this. All right, Caesar, when you're ready.
So here we go, Don. Oh, and actually, that's Peter White playing piano on My Funny Valentine. I don't know
if
you knew that.
I did not know that.
He plays accordion on I Wish You Love, but yeah.
Yes, I know about the accordion. I didn't know he played piano.
You ought to see him play the banjo. So I'm serious. He plays the banjo. Couldn't happen on this album.
Right.
But here you go. My Funny Valentine. I'll sing a little bit for you. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. There you go.
Woo! Okay, folks. Woo! That was fabulous.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
You.
Well, actually, every song on here is my favorite.
Right?
That's why I guess I'm going to say that a lot today.
Well, that was my favorite too. Well, that one's my favorite. Yeah. Yes, but you know what? Let's talk about the CD because Caesar, Jazz Standards for Today's Audience, folks. That's the CD that we're talking about tonight, and definitely want you to get the CD. And you know me, I want you to get it from Caesar directly, if at all possible. Can we get it directly from you, Caesar? Can we go to your website?
Yeah, actually can. I give people a lot of options. Some people have PayPal accounts, some people don't. So if you go to my website, that's Caesar, CAESAR, jazz.com. There's links for Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby, or at the very bottom, you can click on a link to where you can get it directly from me through my PayPal, through PayPal. But all that's on the homepage of my website. So go to CaesarJazz.com and pledge your support. And please tell a friend.
No, you know what? Tell 100 of your closest friends. Come on, y'all. You got 100 friends on Facebook.
A couple thousand of your closest.
There you go. So, and then I'm going to piggyback on there. I know you have options. However,
yeah, folks, well, it's always good to buy Pick from the artist. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's the option I want you to pick, if at all possible. And I know everyone doesn't do PayPal. However, if you can make it work, please make that your first option. And that, of course, is to get it directly from Caesar. That's the way, that's how we roll here on The Color of Jazz. We're all about supporting the artist, and of course, the best way to support the artist is to get it directly from him. Okay, let's just cut out some folks. I'm just saying. All right. Okay, and we'll put that, of course, in the chat. We'll put the link in there in the chat, of course. All right, so we got some folks in the chat. I see someone new. I think I see someone new. Let's says, thanks, Donna. You are hilarious, my dear brother. We are proud of your accomplishments. Always knew that you would persevere.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's awesome.
Perseverance. That's
right?
I'm an Omega Sci-Fi, and that's one of our cardinal principles: perseverance.
There you go. And you're doing a good job.
Thank you. On the inside of the cover, that's what it's all about. I put perseverance in there, the definition of it. Yes. And it's overcoming all types of obstacles and criticisms of people saying that you can't do this and you can't do that. It's not going to happen. But you block all that out and you just do what you're going to do. And this is a result. So, thank you for the comment. I really appreciate it.
You know what? You are welcome. And of course, a big, huge thanks to my guest. Again, guest, one more time. So, folks, if you want us to know who you are, and if you want to stay incognito, that is absolutely allowed, not a problem. But if you want, and if you can, definitely go to the chat. Go to the little chat setting, and then you can change your name so that you're not guest. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All right? So, and then, of course, you're going to want to ask your questions directly. So, getting back to the questions, Caesar, talk to us about the Grammy for your CD, the Grammy nomination.
Grammy nomination. Wow. When I was recording with Al Schmidt, we're in the studio. The furthest thing from my mind was anything that had the word G in it. But Al leaned over to me during the session and he said, "Look, Caesar, hey man, are you a member of the Recording Academy?" And I said, "No." So he said, "Look, here's a VIP application. Put his name on it." He said, you need to join because you got a pretty good shot. You got an album here that sounds great. I'm singing in multiple languages. It's really not, I don't know, there's not a lot of people doing that.
That's right.
And especially African Americans. Nat King Cole was the first to do this, and he sang in 7 languages. He did that back in the 50s, 40s and 50s. And then you have artists like Julio Iglesias, who I toured with, singing in 14 languages. But that was the pioneer. But I haven't seen a brother actually do that. Ooh, wow, I haven't seen it in my lifetime. So I had to make a statement, and that's why I sang in Japanese and Spanish and French. Because we can't,
Right?
You can sing in different languages, and that's why this album takes on a different meaning. But so I joined the Recording Academy, and the album was just submitted, and it's being reviewed for possibly a nomination. We don't know. Pray to God it happens, but it's just, I'm fortunate that I'm able to become a Grammy member. Your peers, the musicians, we all vote on each other to find out who's going to be nominated, but they have committees that review the actual album. So if everyone would just go out and get the buzz going, if you know some great artists, tell them, say, hey, you got to listen to this guy Caesar, and it's I'm very humble about that. I'm optimistic about things. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It'll be great. It'll be very, very humbling. Put a lot of hard work in the album, so we'll see what happens, But yeah, it's the word G is pretty scary.
Well, of course, we will do what we can. And folks, again, if you know of anyone, and with today's technology, that whole theory of 6 degrees of separation, I believe we have so cut that in half. We're probably about 3 degrees, 2 degrees of separation from someone who knows someone. So there's that degrees. And if you know someone who knows someone, or if you know someone, just get the word out because, again, another important CD, and we need to get it out. We need to talk about it, and we need to get him nominated. We need to do
Uh,
our part as well.
well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I will share the award with everyone.
You'll come back, right?
Yeah, you
You
keep it
will
at
come
your
back
house.
and
Yeah,
hang out with us, and right
yeah.
when you win that Grammy, you'll come
I
back and talk to us all about it.
definitely would.
Right
Definitely would.
on.
I would always come back to your show. You're doing a great thing, Donna. And I have to let you know, I really thank you for inviting me. It was 2011. We were in contact, and you said I was going to be the first vocal artist on
I know.
your site. And my album was still, we were still recording and still working on what songs we're going to put on the album. So I said I'm not ready right now. Hold tight. So now, it's great to be here. It's really great.
And again, everything works when it works, and of course, we are so glad and blessed to have you here, and just excited now. I see I have a new guest in the house, and let me tell you about Smooth Jazz on the Rocks. He is I should say, Michael, can I say that you're kind of like a hostess or a host on the internet show because he does some incredible music. So, Michael, you'll have to check this out on perhaps one of your smooth shows where the love is flowing and all that. Well, here's the perfect music for that. So we gotta
Hey,
we gotta connect you with Caesar here, and y'all work it out and get him on there because yes, the music is smooth. Smooth Groove Radio, folks. Of course, it's an internet show, internet jazz station. And Michael, make sure you put that link in there so folks will know how to find you. And I gotta say, folks, um, it is a wonderful internet radio station because it's not typical where you hear the same music over and over again, at 7, 12, 1, and 4. So you'll get to hear lots and lots and lots of great music all the time. So, let's put Caesar in there as well. And I want to call it the rotation because your show hardly is on that rotating type, um, spin there. So, but let's get him definitely in there. All right.
thank you, Donna.
You're very
And
welcome. I want to put some more music on, especially now that Mike is in the house. That's Mike
hey,
Lyle. Of course,
hey,
make sure
Mike.
you guys connect in Facebook.
Yes.
Yes, so make sure you guys do make that connection. That's what the show is about as well. Let's get some connections going. I'm going to put some music on, and then I am going to get back into the chat with you. Folks, now you can multitask. We got a half an hour left, okay? So now you can do your multitasking. I want you to go to your own Facebook pages, and I want you to let folks know we're on live. Okay, we're on live now with Caesar. Come hop in the chat. Tell him to come say hi and check out this amazing vocalist.
Hello.
Right? I don't know when we're going to hear music like that. Bring your questions because you know what? When we come back, I want to talk about your voice and what's going on now with the music industry. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Great.
So, let's go ahead. I was sneaking in a Facebook post. So let's go back. I want to get the music flowing once again. All right. And let's see. Quesas, quesas, quesas.
Quizás.
Quizás,
Means
thank you.
perhaps.
Ah,
Yes.
yes. All right. Set that up for us and we'll get it on.
Okay. Quizás. This song was originally done by Desi Arnaz. Ricky and Lucy. Remember Babalu?
Babaloo.
But Nat King Cole made the song famous, and became one of my favorite songs. Nat did 2 albums that were all Spanish. A lot of people didn't know that he sang in multiple languages. He did Big Band Swing, and they just know Unforgettable, When I Fall in Love,
Right.
those songs. But I probably, I grew up listening to this stuff, so I just embraced it at a young age. I was blessed to, my father exposed me to this music, and I just fell in love with it. So, quizás, it means perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Okay? So,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So let's do it. All right. Here we go, folks. Enjoy.
All right. Here we go. Siempre te pregunto que cuando, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes. Quizás, quizás, quizás. Y así pasan los días y yo desesperando y tú contestando. Quizás, quizás, quizás. Estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando, pensando. Por lo que más tú quieras, hasta cuándo, hasta cuándo. Y así pasan los días y yo desesperando y tú contestando. Quizás, quizás, quizás. Y así pasan los días y yo desesperando y tú contestando. Quizás, quizás, quizás. Estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando, pensando. Por lo que más tú quieras, hasta cuándo, hasta cuándo. Y así pasan los días y yo desesperando y tú contestando. Quizás, 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 quizás.
Love that. All right,
Oh,
folks.
thank you.
Quizás, quizás, quizás. Now, I don't even know why I even attempted to sing that when I have you here.
Quizás, quizás, quizás.
Quizás,
Well,
quizás.
Rosemary Clooney did it in English, and what it's saying is, you won't admit you love me, and so how am I ever to know? You only ask me, perhaps, 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 or you always answer, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. So he's saying, quizás, quizás, quizás. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a catchy tune. That was produced by Kevin Flournoy, when I moved to LA, that's the first piano keyboardist I played with. I sat in with him at a place called Joseph's in Culver City, and we've been playing together since 1997. So I had to get him to do something on this album. Very talented. He plays with Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight, tours the world with everyone. So one American, he was doing an American Idol tour. So yeah, Kevin's a great artist, and let's see, Eric Bloom's on trumpet doing the solo, and Marty's on upright bass. Marty Blue. So I have some great talent on there. So,
yeah, you do.
Thank you.
Awesome. And you know what? Real quick, I want to talk about Julio Iglesias. But before we do that, I really want you to kind of talk to us about your band members because, like I said, I know it's important. you got folks that are supporting you, and talk to us a little bit about the folks who support you in your music and making things happen, making the CD happen.
All right. Well, first of all, Peter White was very instrumental, and I met Peter back in '97. And it's funny how I met him. I was renting out a room in North Hollywood because I started out, I was operations manager at Universal Studios, and I was like, you know what? Running the whole park means nothing. I'm gonna start singing. so, so that's most people don't do that, but I just said, you know what? I don't like this. I'm gonna sing. Good. So that's after I got off the tour with Julio. I was living in this house, renting out a room from a keyboard player from Chicago. And I thought it was his house. So this guy walks in one day after I was there for about 2 months, and he says, "Hi, how are you?" And I said, "How are you?" And he walks out. He was in the backyard, and then he just walks out. And then the guy comes back a few months later, and he walks in the house, walks in the kitchen, grabs an apple, starts eating it. And he's like, "Do you live here?" And I said, "Yeah, I live here. Who are you?" He said, "I'm Peter White." No, he said, "I'm Peter." And I said, "Peter," I said, "you're eating my apple, Peter. I'm a musician. And the thing is, I had 7 apples the last 7 days. I ate an apple a day. I'm on a budget, So he's eating my apple, So he's like, "Well, I own the place." I said, "Okay, that's fine." But, so we became friends. I found out he's Peter White, the guitarist, and we sat at the piano because there was a baby grand piano in the living room. And we did Yesterday by the Beatles. I sang that. He played it on piano. A lot of people don't know Peter's a great pianist. So Peter, he said, you have a great voice, Caesar. We're going to work together someday. So for years, I would invite him to my shows. He would come hang out at my shows. And then I produced a show in Santa Clarita because I was playing at the club for 2 years. I convinced the owner. I said, "Look, let's do this big benefit." So we had this big theater. We did a show. I asked Peter if he would come and do a few numbers. And I said, "My band will open up for you." He said, "Sure." So Peter shows up, and that's when I said, "Hey, man, do you know Mona Lisa?" And we never rehearsed it, and we got up there, and that's when the magic happened, and it sounded great. And we've been friends ever since. I used to live at Peter's house, and he's family. That's I'm the one that started calling him, "Hey, brother." He's like, "Why you always call everyone brother?" I said, "Well, because we are brothers, man."
Right on, right on.
So yeah, he's soul brother number one. That's my buddy.
You know what?
And
yes.
Yeah.
No.
So the other artists, there have been a ton of musicians on this album because I work with so many great musicians. So Peter's, was the nucleus. And I have, on drums, I have Lan Richards. Lan Richards has played on so many Grammy albums. It's incredible. Tony Moore, he's my homeboy from Chicago.
Right.
Tony's played, Tony. He's played with George Duke, Stanley Clarke, all these guys. On bass, I have Les King, homeboy from Chicago. Les and I, we go way back from Chicago days. First guy I played with as well when I moved to Los Angeles. I have on upright bass, Marty Ballou. He's out here on the East Coast in New England. Matt Crupicello on piano. He's a great pianist, great jazz pianist. I Remember You. That's Mac on that song. Percussions, we have Jorge Najarro. And I think Jorge's from Cuba or Colombia. He's got that feel. And really, if I tour, I got to take this guy with me. Once we start the tour up. So later this year, we're going to start the tour. Skip Dorsey. Got Skip. Skip played with Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears. He's out of Florida, friend of the family. I called Skip, "Hey, man, I need you on this album, man. I'm down." So he laid the tracks on The Very Thought of You. You're one of your favorite tunes.
Yes.
And sounds great. And I thank Skip for doing that. We got on drums, we also have, I use a couple of drummers. I've got, I'm drawing a blank now because there's so many guys. I don't want to miss anybody. On percussions, for My Funny Valentine, we have Otis Hayes, played with James Brown and a lot of other major stars. And Jeff Driscoll, he plays with Gordon Goodwin's Big Fat Band. He's the lead tenor player. He plays on that. Rodney Taylor, he's on alto sax on My Funny Valentine. Rodney, that's the first guy I played with as well, back in 96 or 97 when I moved to LA. And there's this guy named Caesar, and he's really incredible. I love his voice. He's like the nucleus of the album. But yeah, we had some great musicians on the album, and it was fun.
You have some superb musicians on the show,
Yeah.
and wow, that is awesome. And thank you, of course, for mentioning them because I want folks to know that again, no one person is an island, and then and not only do you have these great musicians, but you've got a lot of them are just all of them are stellar musicians.
Oh yeah.
And nice.
And I'd like to mention also Kevin Flournoy. He produced, Kevin Flournoy, Peter White, and we all, produced songs on this album. Co-produced a few songs, but Kevin is really great. He produced The Very Thought of You, Quizás, and another song. Can't remember the other song he did, but Kevin is really, really a great keyboardist. And Vinny Pagano, that's the other drummer I use. Vinny Pagano, the Italiano.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes.
Okay, now, do you got any songs? Let's talk about, because I always get a little sidetracked here. I want to go back and I want us to talk about Julio Iglesias.
Julio, wow. Oh wow, that when I first moved to LA, I knew no one in the entertainment industry. There was an attorney in Houston, Texas that said, I got a contact at the Screen Actors Guild. The guy's name is Terry O'Neill. So Terry's over music and singers contracts for the Screen Actors Guild. So all the singers that do movies and commercials, Terry's the man, right? So I meet Terry and he said, who referred you? And I told him. He said, I don't even like that guy. So that was my one connection. He doesn't even like the guy. So I said, well, look, man, I got, here's some of my demo tapes. Here you go. So I gave him a box, like 10 tapes. And me and him, actually, over the years, we became friends. And what happened, I produced a show at the Hollywood Athletic Club, or Hollywood Backlot Club at Universal. And I knew Terry wouldn't come to my show. He's a big, he's the man, big celebrity. So I invited every woman on his floor to come to my show. I gave them tickets. So they all came to hear me sing, and they go back to the office at the Screen Actors Guild, and they're telling Terry, they say, look, you got to hear this guy, Caesar. And so Terry calls me, and he says, man, that's pretty ingenious what you did. He said, that's pretty good. He said, so we became friends. So years later, a year later, I get a call from Larry Cohn. He's a musical director for Julio Iglesias. So I get a call at night. It was about 8 o'clock. And the guy says, hey, I'm Julio Iglesias' musical director. Is this Caesar? And I said, yeah. I said, good try. And I hung up on him, So because I had buddies from college calling me saying, hey, this is Luther Vandross, Caesar. We need you on tour, So I thought it was a practical joke. So I hung up on him. He calls back. He said, look, I'm calling from Florida. And this is serious. I'm with Julio Iglesias. I said, "Oh man, I really apologize."
Sorry.
So they said they wanted me to fly to Vegas. They had a ticket for me the next week, and I flew to Vegas to audition. And I had 2 songs prepared. And what happened was they auditioned, I believe, 40 baritones from around the country, because Julio never had a male vocalist to tour with him.
Right.
So I get these songs, and I say I'm gonna do 2 songs. I pick out the 2 songs I'm gonna do. And I get up there, it's like, it's something from the TV show Fame. You get out there on the stage, it's an 18-piece band or 16-piece band, and Julio's the only one in the audience with the sound guy. And I start singing, and I finish this first song, and you just hear, Julio starts clapping in the audience. And he comes up to the stage and kisses me on both cheeks. And he wasn't hitting on me,
Right.
He's a Latin lover, but so Julio
kissed me on my cheeks. I'm just saying.
And he said, marvelous voice. And I looked at the band because I was ready to do the next number. They said, no, you're good. So I stay after the show. They invited me to stay after the show, and they had one more guy they had to audition the next day. And I actually stayed for the show, went to a gift shop and bought 20 thank you cards, and told the concierge to slide it up under everyone's door the next morning, early in the morning, like 6 o'clock. So they called the other guy and told him, don't even show up for the audition. I got the gig. And so it was incredible because, you know, we're singing in front of 50,000 people. Uh, you're touring, you know, it was just the most amazing feeling to know that you can perform on that level.
Yes.
And when I was singing with Julio, you know, Julio sings in 14 languages. And that's when I said, wow, you know, Nat sang in 7 languages. He was the first artist to really do that. And he was one of the highest paid artists in the world and the biggest artist in the world. And I said, wow, you know, I realized that all the great male African American vocalists, they were dying. And this was right not too well about a year after that. I think Joe Williams, he died. So you're talking about, we lost Nat King Cole, Arthur Prysock, Brooke Benton, Billy Eckstine, Barry White. We lost Luther. We lost, you know, Lou Rawls. All these guys. There's that void hasn't been filled.
Right.
And these are some of the greatest voices ever. And a lot of people don't realize the history of well, Nat King Cole. He died actually the year I was born in '65, and they needed, Capitol Records needed another baritone vocalist, so they hired Lou Rawls from Chicago. So that's how Lou became the, you know, the voice that he is today. I mean, well, he, you know, the voice. Yeah, Lou was just an incredible talent. I met him a few times before he passed. But you know, this is some great music, timeless lyrics.
Yeah.
The baritone vocalists, African American baritone vocalists, I'm an endangered species, and you know, we can interpret these lyrics like no one else. So you know, that's why, you know, I ask people, please listen to the lyrics, support this, because this is history. This is really a rich history of music and culture, and there's nothing that lights a person's life up more than music.
And you know what?
Yeah, I don't care.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say you're absolutely right. There is nothing more, because, you know, the thing about music is, you know, when whatever you're doing or whatever you went through, whatever's going on, there's that music. You know, it always seems to be the backdrop, and it always seems to, you know, bring you back to something. And as you said, endangered species. And I kind of want to piggyback on what you're talking about, because I want to know, what are your thoughts? What is your hope for jazz music?
Well, you know, for jazz music, Wynton Marsalis, he has done an excellent, incredible job being the ambassador for jazz. There's just one thing, you know, I spoke with Wynton last year because, you know, I went to school in Louisiana and lived in New Orleans for a while, so that's my second home. But, you know, I'm trying to work with Wynton because a lot has been done for jazz and musicians, but the jazz vocalists,
yes,
that's a huge void. We have Gregory Porter and some other artists.
Right.
Gregory just won a Grammy last year, and it's an incredible voice. But there's room for a lot more
Absolutely.
talent, and it's pretty sad that they're not given opportunities. I had to produce his album myself, and you know, I went through. I knew to be creative and do it the way I wanted to and sing in multiple languages, I had to have creative control. Now, in that process, I left my job and I ended up sleeping in my car, and you know, that was part of the journey. You know, I knew that was temporary, so it really didn't affect me because so many fans, I've seen so many smiles on faces when I perform. I knew that I touched people, and that's oh man, that's a feeling that you just can't shake. You know, so you know, we've got to do more to expose our children of all races to the jazz vocalists, especially the male vocalists, the African American male vocalists, because like I said, I was exposed to this. My father was a huge jazz fan, and he introduced me to Brooke Benton and Billy Eckstine and, you know, Arthur Prysock and all those guys. So, and of course Nat. But if I wasn't exposed to it, there's no way that I could say I like it or I don't, because it was, you know, right now kids are given music and it's put in their ears and that's all they listen to.
Right.
You know, they don't have a balance in music, because now you might put something in your iPod and that's all you have. You might have all, what do they call that stuff? Hip hop? Yeah. So you might have all that in your head, but you don't have a balance. You know, you got to have a balance in music. because music it spans, the globe, yeah.
Absolutely. And we got to have that. We got to bring that back. And do you have in mind, like maybe your next project?
Actually, yeah, the next project is going to probably be with well, it will be with a full orchestra. Because I'm doing a lot of songs Nat made famous, but I'm doing standards as well as I have some original stuff in the works. But when you do Nat's music and the music from that era, if I was to put an original song on that album, everybody would be like, "What is that?" you know, because it's hard to find a song written well enough for a vocalist that can stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
These standards. That's why they're called standards.
Right.
But what I plan on doing is doing a project live with a full 25-piece big band and orchestra, and that's going to be probably the end of the year. We're going to start on that. They're already playing my music over in Europe. I've had a few states. Jimmy King has played it on.
Nice.
Well, Jimmy was the first to play it. I sent him a demo of Nature Boy, and he played it in 2012, I believe. And I said, it's not out yet, man. But he said he loved the tune. And then Richard there's 2 stations or 3 stations in Europe playing the music already. So I'm grateful, thankful to these guys that they're really embracing the music. So we plan on doing a tour over there later this year. I'll be back out in LA in November to do my official release party. We're going to do a big blowout out there and in Beverly Hills. And yeah.
Will you invite me?
Of course. Come on, Donna.
Thank you.
I gotta do Arizona. I gotta do the Arizona Jazz Fest. We gotta get that line.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome?
Well,
you know what?
All festivals, if you look at it, how many jazz vocalists do you have?
Right.
I mean, so there's room. So I plan on being on the ticket for a lot of those shows.
Right on. Okay. You know what? We've got we're running out of time, which is unfortunate because I got to tell you how much fun I am having with you. But I gotta ask, okay?
Yes.
I gotta ask. Give us 5 people, and if you need to narrow it down to 3, that's fine. But who you would want to do a duet with, and why?
Okay. Top of the list. Aretha Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. She's the queen, and that's all I have to say.
Right.
She is queen.
Queen of soul.
Queen of soul, but queen of everything when it comes to vocals. Her voice and her range. And a lot of people, they didn't know it, but until she did the sat in for Pavarotti at the awards, and she sang the opera song. She nailed it. But that's what Aretha does. So of course I would love to perform with Aretha. I'll do a duet with her. Natalie Cole, that's my, that's my sorority sister, and of course the history and her voice, and she's been through, she had a comeback like no other, and she really is. She's all class. She's all class. Actually, Natalie came and sat. I was performing in Encino, doing Route 66, and she walks in with Star Jones and Jack A, and they sit in the front, and I'm singing, and I'm like, wow,
Right.
And after the show, she said, "You got it, you got it, And that was like the best stamp of approval that I could ever ask for, But yeah, she's great, and I would love to work with Natalie. I would say Stanley Clarke.
Oh, yes.
Stanley was almost on this project. Stanley actually, we talked about working together in 2009, and Stanley got bogged down with starting his own label and a bunch of other projects, and we couldn't come together. But I plan on working with Stanley in the very near future because I would love to just do a bass and vocal duet with Stanley, because he can play, he can do anything with his bass.
Okay.
Yeah, he's incredible. And then I would say, Stanley Jordan. You had Stanley on your show, didn't you?
I did have Stanley on my show, and Stanley lives here in Arizona.
Yeah. Stanley. Well, you talk to Stanley.
I'm going to. Oh no, but hell.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Stanley. The style, I've got a bunch of his albums, but it's a beautiful sound, and just his technique is. When I first saw him, he played at a place I used to headline at in Houston called Rockefellers. And that's where I really became, I opened up for George Duke, Stanley Clark, Ronnie Laws, you name it. I was there at Rockefellers. Then I started headlining, but that's where I met Stanley for the first time. Nice. But I heard him that night, and I was just blown away by his talent. And of course, Peter White. We're always going to do things together because that's my brother. Right. And yeah, but it's so much talent out there. It's hard to narrow it down.
That's true. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, but you know what? That's excellent. And it's so cool to hear your answers. And
thank you, Donna.
So that's always exciting. I have to tell you that
yes,
this is probably one of my favorite interviews.
Get out of here!
And you know what? Let me tell you why.
Really?
No. Because you have given us so many stories, and that's what makes this show. And that's what makes me, just happy about this show because I am a fan first and foremost. I can't sing. Y'all know I can't sing. And I don't even know why I attempt. But I can't sing and I can't even play an instrument. I don't have any musical bones, notes, cells, whatever in my body. But I just love the music and the musicians. So, but to get your energy and to hear your stories. I got to tell you, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your next project. I really hope that you do some kind of duet CD here pretty soon. And who was it that did duets? Wasn't it Ray Charles?
And Ray Charles, Frank Sinatra did a duets. Tony Bennett did a duets. And wow, if we do duets, Jill Scott. Jennifer Hudson, my homegirl. We gotta get it's oh my God. Dee Dee Bridgewater.
Oh, what about
Rochelle,
Diane Reeves?
Come on, Diane Reeves. That's yeah.
Right?
Let's get tomorrow. But we do a duets album, that would really be incredible. Because this music is it's really I embrace it, I love it. I don't regret anything that we've done or been through for this journey. And it's the fans actually helped finance this album. Yes. They sent money from around the world to actually get it done, which was really cool. Really cool. Yeah.
You know what? I'm just really I'm just incredibly blown away because, like I said, it's awesome to hear the stories and just to hang out with you because you're that cool cat,
Oh, thank you.
And I can't wait. Let me back up. I look forward to having you back on the show.
We'll be back.
And hearing about your accomplishments, and hearing about your Grammy. I'm putting it out there, folks, because I know if you put it out there, it will come, right?
If you claim it,
right?
Claim the guy's name, yeah.
That's right. High five. Give me a high five on that one. So, yes. And folks, we're going to go over just a little bit because I got to play another one of my favorites, of course, and just I want to stay in this feeling that I have. I'm just in awe, and so I'm staying there, and I want you guys to join me in this feelings, and I want to give a shout out to Lori. So we got Lori in the chat, and perhaps you want to give a shout out to Lori as well, and say hello to her. Yeah.
Hey, Low C.
So, that's right. Lori says he will get a Grammy. Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. And of course, I want to give a huge shout out now to your wife,
Kelly. That's
Kelly.
Yes.
Huge shout out to Kelly.
Yes. She will not let me rehearse because she sings while I'm rehearsing. She loves singing, so she will not stop singing when I'm trying to listen to my own self sing. So it's very, very distracting.
Well, there goes another duet with you, for you.
Well, she thought she was going to make the album, but that's why I had to record it in L.A. I said, we got to record
I'm telling you, I think you need to.
We had her in the studio in Boston. I was in L.A. So.
I don't know. I think you got to do a duet with Kelly.
Get her started because she's going to ask me about that everything. So.
Right? Just saying. All right. So let me play The Very Thought of You, folks, because I know it's a favorite. It's classic. It's timeless. And I'm going to play that. I'm going to get back in the chat with you. And I just have to say, honestly, this has been a lot of fun. And of course, having folks in the chat chatting with us, I want to say thank you to everyone who's gotten in the chat with us. And even if you didn't chat with us directly, but you listened. And I'm hoping, folks, that, um, that you support Caesar and you will go get his CD. And again, from him, just go bypass iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, yada, 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 whoop de woo, and go to his website and get the CD, number one. Please make sure you do that. And a duet with Donna. You know what? No. Again, that one probably won't happen, but you know what? I would sit in that recording and studio when you guys record, and I'll be your number one cheerleader, probably your number two, well, maybe three after Lori and Kelly and whoever else. So, but I would be that cheerleader for you, and I will spread the word like wildfire for you.
Thank
So
you.
that's how I do my part in this, and yeah, so I won't sing, but that's how I do my part. Let's put this on. The very thought of you, folks, get in the chat. This is our last time, and I'm in awe. Thank you. Here we go,
Oh,
folks.
Donna, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The very thought of you.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. I'm living in a kind of daydream. I'm happy as a king, and foolish though it may seem to me, that's everything. The mere ideal view, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes in the stars above. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love. The mere ideal view, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes in the stars above. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love, my love, my love, my love.
Okay, folks. You know what? It doesn't get any better than that. And most amazing vocals that we have. And please, you got to get the music. And when you listen to the words of the song, it just, you know what, it takes you back so many different places. And then you pair the words with the amazing voice. It's just, it sends shivers. So for those of you who are married, I need you to get this CD. Well, your partner needs you to get your significant other, your spouse, they need you to get the CD. I'm just saying. And for those, even if you don't have a significant other, a partner, or spouse, or whoever, whatever, you still need to get it because the music is so timeless. And it is refreshing. I don't know who said, Iceman, I think you said it's refreshing, and you're absolutely right. Got to tell you, Iceman is in the house from Texas. And Iceman, are you in Dallas or Houston? So maybe you have seen Caesar performed because he does a lot. He did a lot of performing in the Houston area. Is that correct?
Yeah, it began in
Dallas.
Houston, Texas. I was there from 88 to 95.
Okay.
So yeah, I was performing at Rockefellers and a lot of the clubs around town. So yeah, that's where it all began, Houston, Texas.
Okay, so Houston, my bad, Iceman, because he's from Dallas, but you probably
Oh,
have
Dallas,
heard
yeah.
of Rockefellers, and then of course we've got Bernard Rose. Bernard Rose plays the saxophone, so
Hey, Bernard, what's going on, brother?
right. So if you
Play
need
on, man. Play on.
exactly another musician who's been on the show as well. So,
Yeah.
um, again, I just want to thank everyone for hanging out, and we are so appreciative. Caesar, you've been a breath of fresh air, also refreshing. Gotta tell you, you've been very refreshing and just a blast to have on the show. Looking forward to you coming back and again sharing updates with us. Please let me know when you get that duet CD going.
We'll definitely do that, Donna. And thank you. You have been a great and gracious hostess.
Thank you.
Host. And yeah, I really enjoyed this interview. It's been one of the most relaxing because I'm laid back. I'm at home.
Right?
I'm under the AC. Oh, this is wonderful. Yeah, but yeah.
And so
Rock the house.
that was my attempt at dancing, which is why I don't sing and dance in public.
Dance in the chair. See,
Oh, that's right. I was trying to be all suave during the show, but I had to, I had to go there. So we're gonna have you back on the show because again, we had so much fun. You have such amazing stories, and I know you're full of more stories and excitement about this incredible career and this high that you're on. And thank you for sharing it with us. We'll get you back on here as soon as we can. And of course, you're family now, so you're welcome anytime.
Yeah, and I wish you continued success, sister. You'll do wonderful, and you're doing some great things.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, folks. Again, CaesarJazz.com. That is where you go and get the music directly for him. Please check it out and check out his website. It's got some great photos on there of him. You'll see everything that you need to know, his bio, everything. It's all there. But most importantly, get the CD, okay? Don't go to iTunes and download a couple of songs. It's standards, and they're all fabulous. So no need to. Right? Yeah. There's no need to get a couple of songs. You need to get the whole CD. Yeah. All right. Caesar, I guess we should say goodnight to folks, huh?
Good night, my friends. And thank you for tuning in.
Oh. Wait. Could you sing something to us? Something impromptu, saying goodnight? Okay.
All right. I'll sing a little bit of Autumn Leaves. You didn't get to hear that. So.
Okay.
Uh, I'll start the part I do in Japanese. I'll do it in English. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. There you go, Donna.
Okay, folks. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So please make sure you go to his website again, www.caesarjazz.com. Please go there. I am melting. You're absolutely right, Iceman. I am, because you cannot not feel this music. It's music that you feel. So, yeah, before I melt and get all goofy on everyone, I'm going to say goodnight as well. Again, a huge, huge, huge thank you to everyone in the chat. And if you didn't get in the chat and you're just watching, thank you. We appreciate that. Good. Friends, tell a few of your closest 100 friends about Caesar the Jazz Balladeer. Please make sure you connect with him on Facebook. You can also connect with him in Twitter. His Twitter name is Sing Caesar Sing, and
Sing, Caesar, sing.
okay, and that's exactly what he does. So make sure you connect with him. All right, folks. I'm going to say goodnight one more time. Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night. See you guys. Mwah.
Mwah. Thank you.
All right.
Caesar,
Thank you.
could you hang on for a moment?
Yes.